What if humans could actually be sliced in half and still keep walking? Sounds impossible, right? Well, prepare to have your mind melted, because these 7 body-splitting illusions are so realistic. They feel like literal reality glitches. Criss Angel's pulling a woman apart. What would you do if you saw a man casually grab a woman by the waist and literally pull her body in half, and she's still alive, talking, and moving both halves separately? Sounds like something out of a nightmare, right? Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what Criss Angel did in his infamous street illusion, pulling a woman apart. And yes, you heard that right. No curtains, no stage, no fancy camera angles, just pure horror and disbelief unfolding in the middle of a sidewalk. Criss walks up to a random woman, chats casually, and then suddenly grabs her torso and tugs. In a split second, her body splits cleanly in half, her upper half in his hands, her legs wobbling behind. The woman's facial expressions are way too real. She screams, people around gasp, someone even faints, and Criss just stands there, holding her like he's picked up a mannequin at a yard sale. Can you believe it? Sounds absolutely insane, right? Here's the twist. This illusion isn't just clever editing. It's a perfect storm of medical realism, prosthetics, and live misdirection. Criss used a real performer with a rare physical condition known as sacral agenesis, which affects the lower spine and legs. Combined with prosthetics and precise camera blocking, it created an illusion that looked disturbingly authentic. The performer's real upper body was supported and positioned naturally, while the fake lower half, custom built and lifelike, completed the horrifying visual. And because this was shot outdoors under normal lighting, the realism was off the charts. Every shadow, every movement sold the illusion. No one in the audience could wrap their heads around it. People weren't just shocked, they were traumatized and fascinated at the same time. Criss didn't just saw someone in half. He evolved the classic illusion into a psychological stunt, blending real anatomy and Hollywood great effects to make you question reality itself. It's one of those moments that makes you think, if magicians can make this look real, what else can they make you believe? Crazy, right? Xavier Mortimer's self-body split. What would you do if a magician casually ripped his own body in half in broad daylight? No box, no curtain, no stage trick cover, and then casually rode a bicycle while split in two? Sounds fake, right? Nope. Xavier Mortimer does it live, and it messes with your perception of reality more than any sawing illusion ever could. Mortimer stands there like a normal human, and then split. His torso literally lifts away from his legs, floating above the waist like gravity just gave up. The legs remain grounded, the upper body drifting like a possessed mannequin. And here's the disrespect. He keeps moving, talking, looking alive. 2 fully functioning halves of a human. Can you believe it? The secret begins with extreme costume engineering. His pants aren't pants, they're a double-layered prosthetic machine. His real torso is always intact, just cleverly hidden inside, either the leg section or the floating upper body structure, depending on the moment. The split torso, you see, often a fake lightweight torso rig, a perfect replica, strapped to hidden metal supports. The real body is never actually cut, just displaced. Yes, you heard that right. You're being played by angles and fabric. But here's where he commits visual war crimes. He does it while riding a bicycle. His real legs pedal normally. The fake upper torso is attached invisibly to the bike frame, synced with every movement, while clever camera angles block the fact that his real torso is folded inside the lower section. You think you're looking at 2 halves? You're actually looking at one body controlling both. Assistants may subtly interact with each other to prove independence. Mortimer even times reflex leg movements to match upper body gestures, tricking your brain into thinking both sections are still neurologically alive. And then, snap. Divider removed. Torso reattaches in one fluid motion. The costume collapses its fake components back into place. Mortimer stands up fully whole, like nothing happened. No trapdoors, no box. Just costume sorcery, physics betrayal, and ruthless camera control. Josephine Lee's rotating split illusion. What would you do if you saw a woman casually get spun around, split in half, and then rotated like detachable furniture, and yet smile like nothing happened? Sounds insane, right? That's exactly what happens in Josephine Lee's rotating split illusion, a trick so clean and shamelessly realistic that people genuinely start questioning medical science before magic. It begins so innocently. Josephine invites a volunteer, barefoot, no shoes, nothing sketchy, to lie flat on a futuristic plastic rotating table. 2 slim boxes clamp around her torso and legs. Looks airtight, looks restrictive, looks impossible to escape from. And that's where your brain gets played, because inside those boxes, there's hidden depth and secret chambers engineered to let the assistant fold like human origami. Yes, you heard that right. Her entire body begins to disappear from where it's supposed to be the moment the table turns. The table rotates 360 degrees, which is pure psychological disrespect. You think, oh, if it rotates, it must be real. No hiding possible wrong. The rotation is exactly when the assistant bends, slides, and compresses herself into hidden compartments, while the audience only sees controlled angles. Can you believe it? You're shown everything and absolutely nothing. Then, the violation begins. The table splits in half. Upper body here, legs over there. Metal sheets slide in like surgical blades. Josephine literally pulls the body apart live, moving both halves independently. And the craziest part? The toes move. The head reacts. The halves rotate separately, as if she were literally 2 functioning pieces of a human. Yes, you heard that right. 0 covers, no panic, just anatomical disrespect in slow motion. And then, as if mocking your sanity, the halves glide back. The table closes. The assistant unfolds her body back into alignment while still spinning in full view. The metal is removed. The boxes come off. She stands up completely unharmed, not even dizzy. No CGI, no trapdoor, just human flexibility, military-grade engineering, and angles so precise they weaponize your own eyeballs against you. That's not a trick. That's psychological warfare disguised as theater. Rob Lake's laser body separation. What if a magician literally lets a laser beam slice him cleanly in half? Live. No box, no curtain, no trapdoor. And then his 2 halves move independently in full view. Sounds like sci-fi CGI, right? Except Rob Lake does it on stage, in real time, in front of thousands, and people absolutely lose their minds. The setup is already psychological warfare. Rob stands center stage, surrounded by haze, so the laser becomes a visible cutting blade of light. A razor-thin beam slices perfectly across his waistline, and he grabs onto hanging chains above, like he's trying to hold his own upper body from falling off. The light cuts through him, and his torso floats upward. Yes, you heard that right. His legs, no box. Nothing is blocking the view. And then it gets worse. The legs start moving by themselves. The lower half, completely detached, takes tiny robotic steps. His torso tilts and rotates mid-air, like he's controlling it with invisible strings. The separation is so clean and so still that people start forgetting it's a trick. Can you believe it? No shadows, no obvious rig, just pure visual disrespect. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Rob is never truly standing upright. He's actually leaning backward onto a hidden platform angled perfectly toward the audience's line of sight. His real body is supported the entire time. The legs the crowd sees, they're flawlessly engineered robotic dummies. Servo motors move them with subtle human micro-motion. Meanwhile, his real torso is floating, but safely attached to a dark armature frame hidden against a pitch-black background designed to absorb light like Vantablack. The laser doesn't cut, it hides, it blinds. It's the world's strongest misdirection line, right at your eye level. And when it's done, the beam shuts off, the lighting shifts. The 2 halves slide together like watching a human reassemble, and Rob steps forward fully intact, like nothing just happened. No blood, no gore, just robotics, light control, engineering genius, and absolute humiliation of human perception. Robert Harbin's Zig-Zag Girl. Robert Harbin's Zig-Zag Girl isn't just a magic trick. It's a direct attack on your sense of anatomy. First seen in 1965, this stage illusion makes it look like a living human has been casually disassembled on stage, and yet walks away untouched. No blood, no panic, just disrespect to physics. Yes, you heard that right. The assistant steps into a tall 3-part cabinet. Nothing looks suspicious, but the box is painfully thin, almost offensively narrow, like it could barely fit a laptop, let alone a human torso. And that's when the madness begins. Inside that box, before the doors close, the assistant secretly contorts into a brutally uncomfortable posture. Yes, not technology. Human flexibility. She bends her torso out of the middle section, aligning only her upper body and legs with the top and bottom chambers. You might think, wait, she fits inside the shifted middle part? Yes, you heard that right. That middle section is secretly roomier than it looks, but only from the magician's side, not yours. The audience angle is everything. From your view, it looks impossibly thin. Then comes the moment that makes people physically flinch. The magician places his hand on the middle section, the ribcage zone, and slides it violently sideways. Not the head, not the feet, but the torso, the vital organ department. The box breaks apart like flesh was never a concern. And just when your brain begins screaming, the assistant's head calmly talks from above. Her feet wiggle below, as if she's made of detachable IKEA parts. Insane, right? The truth is, she's only occupying 2 out of the 3 sections at any moment. The middle chamber, the one that shocks you, is actually hiding her twisted torso. There are false walls and diagonal panels inside, engineered to physically hide her body from the exact angle you're watching from. If you saw this trick from the wrong angle, the illusion would die instantly. That's how surgical the misdirection is. The magician eventually slides everything back perfectly, one smooth click. The assistant gracefully unfolds her body like nothing happened. The audience is still in disbelief. And that's the power of Zig-Zag Girl. It's not just an illusion. It's anatomical disrespect disguised as choreography. What do you think about this trick? Wakelings sawing a woman in half. What if one of the most horrifying magic tricks in history, a woman literally being sawed in half on stage, is not only still legal, but has been perfected to look more real than ever? Sounds insane, right? That's the legacy of Alan Wakeling's version of sawing a woman in half. This isn't your casual birthday party magic. This is a surgical theater dressed as entertainment. The assistant lies flat on a narrow table or box. Her head is visible. Her feet are casually hanging out the other end. Nothing looks fake. She even waves or wiggles to prove she's alive and conscious. The magician picks up a giant saw, yes, a literal saw, and places it right at her waistline. And here's the part that makes the audience physically recoil. He actually sawed through her body. You hear the grind, see the motion, and your brain goes into full emergency mode. Can you believe it? It's happening right in front of you. But here's the disrespect. Wakeling improved this illusion so shockingly well that the illusion box looks ridiculously honest. No wide framing, no sketchy curtains. It's clean, minimal, and brutally convincing. You see the box split into 2 halves and literally pulled apart, like opening a Kit Kat bar of human consciousness. The top half here, the bottom half over there, and the toes are still moving. Yes, you heard that right, the toes move. So how the hell is this even possible? Wakeling perfected 3 things: human contortion, box engineering, and psychology. Inside that box is a secret space, not obvious to the audience, where the assistant curls up and hides. Sometimes, the legs you see aren't even hers. Fake legs, or a second assistant. Yes, there may literally be 2 people in that one body. Other times, the assistant's real legs are bent and hidden behind angled panels that the audience can't see because the stage is designed with a strict viewing window. One missed angle ruins everything. The box comes back together. One smooth motion. The saw is removed like nothing happened. And within seconds, she gets up, standing, smiling, untouched. No blood, no scar, no explanation. And that is the power of Wakeling's upgrade. It doesn't just fool you, it dares you to believe you weren't fooled at all. Andy the Splitman Street Illusion. What would you do if a random man on the street casually walked past you with just his upper half? No legs, smiling, waving, and acting like it's a normal Tuesday? Would you scream, run, or wonder if you accidentally took the wrong medicine this morning? That's exactly the chaos Andy Gross, or the viral Splitman, creates with one of the most disturbing yet hilarious street illusions ever performed. This isn't an onstage magic trick with dark lighting and camera edits. Nope. Andy does it in broad daylight, in public, with regular people. And the moment he suddenly splits at the waist, vertically, the human brain straight up crashes. Because your eyes are watching him literally walk around with only half a body. Can you believe it? Sounds insane, right? Here's how this madness is secretly engineered. Andy wears a custom-built costume with 2 sections, and hidden inside it is a support frame, plus ultra-realistic dummy legs. These fake legs are not toy level. They're hyper-realistic silicone limbs, sometimes even motorized to mimic natural human knee movement. That's why people don't question it, because they actually move like real legs. Meanwhile, Andy's real lower body is tucked inside the structure, perfectly concealed. The split moment is all performance psychology. He He often uses a fake laser effect, sharp sound cue, or visual misdirection, and right when everyone's eyes lock onto the cutting point, the body separates deceptively fast. His upper body either leans forward from a hidden brace or is perched on a support rod, disguised in his clothing, and suddenly, he's floating above his own legs. Yes, you heard that right. No CGI, real, on the street. Then comes the best part. He walks, or worse, his legs walk away first. People lose their sanity on the spot. And before your brain even reloads, he reattaches and walks off like nothing happened. Which of these insane body-splitting illusions blew your mind the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Want to know which one made you question reality? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because the world of magic is full of tricks crazier than you can imagine, and we've only just scratched the surface.